Hey everyone, Dave from Dame Games here, and yeah, I wanted to make a YouTube video. Haven't done one in a while, and I wanted to kind of chat about Spider-Man. We have the newest Magic the Gathering set, Marvel's Spider-Man, which is pre-releasing this weekend. We have one pre-release scheduled for it ourselves. A lot of stores do them Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We usually just do hours on Saturday. But yeah, it should be a really exciting time, and I'm super pumped about this set. I just kind of wanted to chat about it a little bit because there's a lot of stuff on the internet. There's pros and cons, and people are always down on the Universes Beyond stuff. Um, but this one's a little different. Like this set is a little strange in what Wizards decided to do with it. There's a lot of chat about how, it was a smaller set, and they added in the commons at a later date because originally supposed to be more smaller set. Think along the lines of like Assassin's Creed type set. So the set, a lot of people are saying it doesn't really feel complete, and I kind of understand where they're coming from. But I think Wizards still did a really good job here. It's tough because Final Fantasy was probably the one of the best Magic sets of all time. I think it's going to go down in history as, the top five easily. Whether you like Universes Beyond or not, Final Fantasy was just a banger. So, Spider-Man, it's coming off a lot of competition there, and then we had Edge of Eternities, which was a pretty good set too. That Spider-Man is being released after, and going into this, we saw collector boxes hitting $1,000 on the secondary market. I think a lot of people expected that same kind of Final Fantasy collector hype, which Spider-Man it definitely has that. But there's not quite as many chase cards, I'd say. There are special treatments in the collector editions. There's no serialized. There is a special Soul Stone, which is, I believe, maybe just as rare as some of the serialized stuff. We don't know exactly how many they made of that special gold trim Soul Stone. And then the spectacular Spider-Mans, the multiple costume Spider-Mans, those are chase pieces as well. And I watched a lot of box openings, and I don't think I've seen any of the alternates opened. So you're looking at probably like the neon chocobo, traveling chocobo type scarcity there. But more so the concern, rather than like Wizards, kind of putting this together last minute or however long, whenever they change their mind about what size set this would be. More the concern on our end as a store is the allocations. So I've never seen Magic allocations this bad. I've only been in we've had our store for going on 2 years now. So I haven't been in it too long as far as like the distribution game, but I've never had an issue getting the boxes that are like draft or set boosters or now play boosters. Even with Final Fantasy, I we always get allocated on collector products, collector boosters, collector decks, that kind of thing. But you never really see allocations on, at least not, I haven't yet, from the numbers that I order. I've never seen allocations on the play boosters and the set boosters and that kind of thing. But we got about a third of what we ordered for play boosters. So we're going to hold some back because we want to do events with them. We want to do drafts. We want to actually have people be able to play this set. But that is kind of concerning because, like I said, even with Final Fantasy, we got our full allocation on play boosters. And not only that, but we sold through our full allocation on play boosters, and from there we're able to restock them 4 or 5 times. I was ordering restocks of those for at least a month after, and I do my weekly restocks. for at least a month after the set released. So, but with Spider-Man, we're already getting word that allocations were tight, and not to really expect too much in the way of restocks anytime soon. It is a standard legal set, so they will eventually print these. They will eventually print more play boosters, that kind of thing. But we're looking at into next year after the release of Avatar, and once they start actually doing some reprints, because we're due for reprints for Foundations, Tarkir, Edge of Eternities. All these products are pretty light at the distribution level. The most recent sets. So it may be a while before they get around to reprinting Spider-Man. That being said, like I said, it's not limited or anything. It's going to be in standard for multiple years. So if you're patient, you will be able to pick these up. But might be a little bit less out there, right out of the gates. So just wanted to put that out there. I did put aside some product. I was going to do some pack openings real quick. I got a couple collector packs. I wanted to go over some of the promos with you guys. There's a lot of cool events for Spider-Man. And like I said, we're going to try to do, as many events as we can. Try to, keep this set going, because I do think it's a cool set, and I'm a big Spider-Man fan, so I'm excited for it. So right in front of us here, we have a pre-release kit. So like I said, we were doing our pre-releases on Saturday, this coming Saturday, so excited for that. We are going to crack this one open and open those play boosters. But before we do that, I wanted to look at some of the promos they sent us, because people were excited about these too. So for the promos, we do have Spider Sense, which is the buy a box promo. So if you purchase a box of play boosters or collector boosters, if you're lucky enough to, we will be giving those out. We'll probably have extras and probably end up giving them out as commander prizes too, or with any purchase of Spider-Man packs, when we normally do with the buy box promos, to try to use them up once we go through our initial wave of boxes. So that's a pretty cool one. I did pack pre-orders today, and I made sure to put one or two in there for depending on what people ordered. So if you did early pre-orders with us, you should be getting one of these in your package. Then for the Commander events, so they always do Commander events special promo. This one is pretty funny. It's the Spider-Ham promo, which is pretty cool. None of these are foil besides the Spider Sense, so these are all non-foils, which I personally prefer. But so Spider-Ham, Peter Porker, pretty funny one. This is for any of the Commander events, so they've been really pushing the Commander Box League, which is something I would love to try if we can get enough people interested, because that requires purchasing a whole booster box and using that for your 60 card. You build like a 60 card Commander deck with the booster box you buy. So that's an interesting one. So Commander Box League, might throw that on the schedule, see if we can get some people interested, depending on if we have the products to support it. They always have a two-headed giant Commander Knight, which we haven't run traditionally, but it's another fun one. And then they always do Commander Party. Usually I'll give out these promos on the week that Commander Party is. We don't typically follow the Commander Party rules, but sometimes I'll put them out on the tables. I used to do it when we first started up. I used to always have the Commander Party stuff out on the tables so people could use it if they wanted to. It's just basically additional rules for the game. I think this one requires like picking if you're a hero or a villain or something of that sort. But yeah, if people are interested, like, we can put the supplies out so they can try it out. But regardless, around the Commander Party dates, we'll be giving out these Spider Hams to people. So that's a cool one. And we have an interesting, another interesting thing they did with Spider-Man was they switched over all the welcome decks. So if you know what welcome decks are, they are basically beginner-friendly new decks. So the Spider-Man ones, they look like this. There's 5 different versions. And the welcome decks, I mean, traditionally these are not very popular things. They're just free. We still have boxes of them from the traditional welcome decks, which come with a bunch of like think like core set cards, that kind of stuff. Not a lot of like value in them. The Spider-Man ones, though, they actually have new Spider-Man themed cards in them. So these are like really popular, which I don't think was a good move for Wizards to do, because they're meant for new players, but veteran players and collectors alike are going to want to get their hands on these welcome decks. So I can flip through them real quick. There's one for Spider-Man 2099, one for Spider-Man that you just saw. There's the Gwen Stacy one, Ghost Spider. There is Venom, which is probably the coolest one in my opinion. I think that art is just sick looking. And then there's a Spider-Man Miles Morales one. And like I said, these they sent us two boxes of these. I think it's a total of 5, 10, maybe 15 decks. And basically these come with two beginner-friendly, ready-to-play decks out of the box. They're not sealed or anything. Inside they are, but so I won't crack them. But just to kind of give you an idea. So like one box, you'll always get the color of what the box identity is for one of your decks, and then the other one will be another random one. So this box we got looks like Spider-Man and Venom, which is a pretty cool matchup. So basically these decks are meant to, I think they're 20, 30 card decks, and they're meant to play against each other and learn the game. So these cards are not very like powerful. Some of them are actually not that bad in the way of like, I could see putting them in like a Spider-Man themed deck or whatnot for Commander. But the thing is, they're going to be collectible. So, we've already had players asking who, come to Magic events every week, like, what we're going to be doing with them. We're not so sure, but we will maybe we'll schedule the Magic Academy events, which is basically the learn to play events that you are supposed to use these decks for, hand them out, and then they also come with a special promo, which brings me to our next promo here, which is this pretty sweet Mary Jane Watson. So this card is pretty good, and this promo is really cool art. So if you look at it, try to focus it a little bit better for you. It has Mary Jane in there, and it looks like she's like washing Spider-Man's uniform or helping him out with it, and he's in the mirror. You can see him in the mirror, in the bathroom mirror there, like injured, and she's got like maybe like rubbing alcohol there or something. She's gonna like help tend to his wounds. And it's whenever a spider you control enters, draw a card. This ability triggers only once per turn. Strange because it's in Selesnya, not Golgari, but Spider-Man set gave us a lot of spider cards in colors you wouldn't normally see them in. So, but that's a cool promo, and that is meant for the Magic Academy. Traditionally, what we do if we don't run these events, once these become overflow promos, next season we'll give them out for a variety of other events, our draft nights, our commander nights. But I might try to put some more of these like actual events on the schedule, see if these promos can help push them, because like the Mary Jane is cool, and that might be incentive enough to come to one of these Magic Academy, maybe pick up a welcome deck, and maybe bring a friend, a new player, a family member that's been wanting to get into Magic. It's a really good intro to it. So but that's a cool one. Then we have everyone's favorite Standard Showdown. So Standard Showdown is like a weekly event that you run, and it's standard. So it's basically your F&M can be your Standard Showdowns, or you can run them on a different day of the week. For Friday Night Magics, we do Commander, and Standard we haven't had a ton of interest in. So, but the Standard Showdown promo this season is Carnage Crimson Chaos. And he's pretty cool looking. Mayhem is a pretty sweet ability. This card is pretty sweet. Again, the art, the camera doesn't do him justice, and like looking at these arts online, seeing them in person, I was much happier with them, because I did think when I scrolled through the set as a Spider-Man fan even, that some of the art seemed kind of phoned in. But seeing them in person, they're just really cool. just kind of like, you know, similar to like Final Fantasy vibes when you see that stuff in person, and the art and everything looks super crisp and really cool. Focus. Yeah, the art on this is actually sick. So yeah, these would be given out to either for participation or winners, depending on, you know, what the store does. For the standard showdown, which would be your weekly standard event. Then we have, which is a cool one because it's for draft, which we do drafts. So we'll probably be giving these out on our Monday night draft nights, starting looks like September 26th through November 13th. Anyone who's undefeated gets the Ultimate Green Goblin promo. So, like I said, we purposely held some boxes back so we can make sure we can fire some drafts on our Monday nights. So you know, if you're interested in this promo, we'll be giving these out to the undefeated players at our Monday night drafts. So, Ultimate Green Goblin, another Mayhem card, a pretty cool one. You know, at the beginning of your upkeep, discard a card and then create a treasure token. It's a 3-mana 5/4, which is actually insane, and then it just has Mayhem for also 3 mana. So, you know, if you discard it, you can play it for its Mayhem cost that turn. Pretty sweet promo. And then the last thing, which I don't have here because it's at the shop, but the Spider-Man Final Battle it's meant to be a competitive standard event. And so that would be a one-time event, and the first place prize for that is an Spider-Man alternate art comic book. It's really cool looking. It's got like a magic art on it, and that's meant, again, it's a standard tournament. We don't normally run standard, but maybe we might try it for a season and see how it goes, and then we can kind of culminate at the end of the season about if we want to do the final battle one. The event dates for that is November 1st through 9th. So be on the lookout for that if you're a Spider-Man fan and you're interested in the comic book, because we got one to give out. I assume every store got one at least. WPN premium stores might have gotten more than one. Usually, sometimes that's how that works. So yeah, that's kind of all the information about the promos. Let's look at some packs. So let's crack into our pre-release kit here. I'm not going to open a ton of this set, so I'm pretty excited to open the few packs that I will be able to get to open here. And you know, I'll likely play in a pre-release if there's, you know, an odd number. I usually try to play to even it out. But it's you know, it's something where if we have, you know, 20 people, I'm not going to play and then have somebody get around by. Like, I'm basically going to act as the buy if we have an odd number, just so I get to, you know, experience the game. But I'll probably get to play on draft nights too and stuff. But this box art on the inside is really sick. You know, you get your usual tokens. It's got the comic frame around those. The box has the comic frame as well. You get your +1/+1 tokens and your little Spider-Man face tokens, the punch-out tokens, just the cardboard ones, you know. Let's see here. You get your divider, which is pretty cool. It's got the Green Goblin on the one side. And then we got a purple die. These have the Spider-Man face logo. Pretty neat. And then you get your 6 packs to build your deck. Packs look super sharp. And our promo is really good. We got Peter Parker, Amazing Spider-Man for our pre-release promo. Pretty sick. I've traditionally been pretty good at opening the random packs that I open to kind of get a feel for the set going into pre-release. So we'll see how we do. I have a couple collector boosters to open up too. But yeah, Peter Parker. I might have to build him now with my pre-release promo for Commander. Wasn't planning on it, but I don't have a Bant deck yet, and I do really like the web slinging mechanic. So, alright, let's open some packs. Alright, we got a spider token in the back there. Does look like they are common to rare. Sometimes the packs are set up different. So I'll go through these pretty quick. Not going to read through all of them. Venom, Evil Unleashed, cool art. Web Up. Pumpkin Bombardment. Spider Bite is cool. These are all really sick. Wall Crawl. Prowler. Ooh, the Clone Saga is a rare. Oh, and we also got a foil Death of Gwen Stacy. Not an alternate art or anything, but this is a pretty cool card. And a foil Swamp. Not bad for our first pack. We got Treasure Token and Spider. Alright. Pack number 2. I would definitely build around if I was, if this was my actual pre-release kit for the pre-release, I would 100% try to play my pre-release promo, because I think building around the web slinging mechanic would be really fun. Scorpion Sting, Pack Squad, Doc Ock, Spider Islanders, Lurking Lizards, hey, the hot dog cart. A lot of people are complaining about this set with, like, oh, the immersion is gone. You know, you have, New York City stuff. You have what the big one, the funny one that people keep memeing on is the Rent is Due card. It's like, I don't want to have to think about rent when I'm playing my high fantasy card game. I get it, but also, like, I mean, I've been reading Spider-Man comics for my whole life, and I consider that fantasy, and this is the world that it's in. So I think one of the best things about comic book characters and Spider-Man and stuff is that you can actually relate to them in real life situations. So Sun Spider, just opened the minifig of this for Lego. Arachne, pretty cool. This is a Steve Argyle art, which is sweet. I follow him on Facebook, and he showed the uncropped image, which is much cooler. Wizards didn't do this justice by cropping it out, but this is a pretty cool card and a really nice art. Ezekiel foil, and we got a Savage Mansion tokens. Alright. I mentioned collector boxes a little bit. We don't have any collector boxes for sale. We did have 2 available that we're going to crack for packs, so everyone can get a chance to buy. Some packs are going to do like limit 2 per, so our regulars can get a little bit of the collector experience if they want. We did have 6 other packs that we were allocated, or 6 other boxes that we were allocated, but we did early pre-orders, and those went to early pre-orders. I like this card a lot. This one's going around on the internet too, that people were memeing on, saying that it looks like AI. The artist made a statement and showed all his concept art and everything, which is, it's terrible that they have to do that. But I think the art looks cool. I don't know what everyone's complaining about, but Web Warriors, Friendly Neighborhood, New York City, Wise Crack, and a Plains. The lands are cool. I like the other basics too. I think they come in the welcome decks. They're the non-full art basics. They just have basically like cityscapes with like Spider-Man swinging over it. The island is particularly cool. I think it has him swinging over the bridge. Subway train and taxi drivers. See, I understand why people don't like this, but I kind of love it. There's our hot dog card again. And this other thing, this is a small set, so you're going to see a lot more repeats. They're doing, a different draft format where you're supposed to use a pot of 4 people. It's called the Pick 2 draft. You take 2 cards out of the pack instead of 1. It's supposed to be better for smaller sets. Haven't tested it yet myself, but I'm interested to see how that goes. A Hobgoblin. I wish he got a better card. Him and I was a little disappointed in Black Cat because she's one of my favorite characters. And her card's cool. It's basically a Gonti, but better for 1 more mana. And it's a cool card, but I really want it a little bit more, something more unique, I guess, and not just kind of like a reskin. But Ooh, Villainous Wrath. That's a good sweeper. It's kind of sweeper plus Rakdos Charm damage to one player. Rampage. Alright, a couple more packs here, and then we'll open a couple collectors, and then we'll call it. So yeah, I mean, let me know what you guys think of the Spider-Man set. I think it's cool. I'm still excited about it, even though, do I think Wizards probably could have done a better job? Yeah. Do I think it's... I have to see the draft format, with it being a smaller set and the pick 2 draft. I don't think it's going to be nearly as good as, like, Final Fantasy or even Edge of Eternities was pretty fun. Took me a little bit to get used to that one. By the time I was used to it, we were sold out of it and couldn't do them anymore. But yeah, I have to see how. Ooh, Agent Venom. That's a good one. That's a good hit. Ooh, we have. I think this is the alternate art of this card. Oh, it's the extended art that makes like one full scene. So there's 9 of these, I think, that make like a whole picture. But yeah, we got Penny. That's pretty cool. And last pack in our sample of a pre-release. Got some more Guy in the Chair. Some more Venom's Hunger. Doc Ock's Henchman. Just put ward on things. Has flying as long as it's modified. 2/2 ward for 2. Seems like it will be good in limited. I think there's a lot of stuff that adds like +1/+1 counters. Venomized Cat. Bagel. Web Shooters. Rhino's Rampage. Oh, we got an alternate comic book art back there. Tombstone. Behold the Sinister Six. Come on, camera. Why do you do this to me? We're just trying to behold the Sinister Six. Let's do this. See if we can focus on that a little bit better. That's a cool one. Returns up to 6 creatures from your graveyard. Kind of awkward that it's 7 mana, but it does have that 6 in there. So I got a lot of good black cards. I feel like I wouldn't have been able to build around my Spider-Man promo, but. Oh, they do come in the regular packs. This is what I was talking about, the basics that it's kind of hard to see, but they just have like Spider-Man swinging over something. The plains looks like it's just a normal street. I think the island looks one of the coolest because that actually has like water in the bridge. The swamp is like a dark alley. I don't remember the others, but I like these ones. Just the subtle nod to Spider-Man being in the images. We got a foil Wraith. Alright, so that was our pre-release kit. We have 2 collector boosters. Like I said, shop only has 2 boxes for sale, so I cracked both of them. And we're going to sell packs out of each, and I pulled one pack from each of them for opening. So let's give it a go. Angry Rabble. So these are in the correct order too, so that's good. Got our commons and uncommons in the front. Got Dinosaur Man. Got some Flash Thompsons. This is a funny meme card as well. A Spider Mobile. Oh, Molten Man. Spider Bite. Nice Island. Venom Blast. Lady Octopus. This is a cool one. Iron Spider, Stark Upgrade. The alternate of this that comes with the action figure, they did a few alternate cards that come with action figures, is pretty cool. It's Mary Jane in the Iron Spider suit. Ooh, Doc Ock Armed and Dangerous. This is Lorthos, the Tide Maker. Pretty cool one. Is this foil? Is not. And then, yeah, we got a full art of Arachne. Again, it's still cropped kind of weird. The actual full art of this art is really sick looking. Human. Oh, the copy token is great. Love that. And one more collector pack. If I can open it. I wish they did. So they have the cool comic, original comic book art cards like you just saw with that Dr. Octopus. In Final Fantasy, I think they did it great. You know, there was one in like every 3 or 5 play boosters or something like that, but you couldn't get foils in the play boosters. But now the play booster boxes with those kind of cards, those chase cards, they went down to like maybe 1 per box or maybe 2 if you're lucky per box, and that's just I wish Wizards didn't do that. And if they were gonna do that, because it's I understand wanting to make the collectible stuff collectible, but it's so limited and it's so hard to get. Like spending $1,000 on a collector booster box is insane. Don't do that. You'll never get your money's worth in this set. Maybe Final Fantasy, but this set it doesn't have the chase as many chase cards. But yeah, I digress. That's just how I feel about it. Got our city pigeon here, so that's cool. Venom, Daily Bugle, Reporters, Doc Ock. I like the Doc Ock cards and the Villains Matter cards. Again, though, there's not enough. So because the set's smaller, it would be very hard to build around. But maybe in the future, if we get more villains, we can see that be viable in Commander. Aunt May is a good Soul Sisters type card. Flash Thompson, Spider-Mobile, got a Forest. Hide on the Ceiling. This is a good blink card. You can use it to blink out your opponent's stuff as well. So it can, it can clear the board of tokens. It can clear the board for a turn for an attack. Or you can use it to blink your creatures, and then they come back at the end of the turn. So it can be like a good blink card for come into play effects, or to save your team from a sweeper. I think this is going to be a good one, and I do like the art on it too. More Iron Spider. We got a extended art this time, non-foil. Ooh, Spider-Man 2099, pretty cool looking. We got Shock, probably one of the worst comic book art cards we could pull, but still cool. I kind of want to collect this set. But depending on how limited it is, that may take me a long time, or I may never do it. But I do like all of these. Ooh, Carnage, Crimson Chaos. That is sick looking. Very cool. Very cool. All right, we got a robot. So that's our packs that we wanted to open, and I just kind of wanted to chat a little bit about Spider-Man. I'm excited for this set. I hope you are too. If you're coming to the store this weekend to either pick up product or playing a pre-release, then I hope to see you there. I think it's gonna be a good time. Let me know what you think of the set. Let me know if you play at the store and you're interested in any of those other events, the standard events, the Commander Box League, that kind of thing. We can make that happen. If people want to do it, I'm all for. Magic has been our best game currently, as far as like attendance and everything. Commander nights are insane. We get a ton of people on Fridays. Pre-releases have been, capping those for the past few sets. And we usually fire at least an 8-man, 6 to 8 people for draft night on Mondays. So I'm happy to add more events for Magic if people want to come out for them, if people want to try different formats. Just let us know. But yeah, I'm super excited for the set, and I hope to see you in the store. I hope you're able to get what you want from the set, and I'll see you there. Enjoy the rest of your night. Bye.